My relationship with money is a love-hate relationship. In one case, I need it, I gotta survive, I gotta do what I gotta do to make sure that my bills are paid. However, if you don't manage it right, it can also take over you. It can make you vain. It can make you believe in superficial things. In addition to that, it can really cause a lot of stress, a lot of heartache, and a lot of turmoil. Debt is not your friend. Debt changes your attitude. Debt changes the way you think, changes the way you move, it changes the way you act. You don't know if you're really building relationships based on need or based on excess. My name is Kenny Brown, and I went from an athlete to finance. In college, I graduated with a degree in business management. After school, I realized that when sports didn't work out for me, I really needed money. However, the love-hate relationship that I had, it really didn't facilitate the ability to go get the money that I felt like I deserved. You know, coming from an athlete, making six figures, making a good amount of money, the most money I'd ever seen, you know, at 18, 19 years old or 20, 21 years old, you know, I went from billboards, I went from being successful to sleeping on my mom's couch.
Oh, shit. Yo, this shit ain't no joke.
Funny story. So, you know, when I was in college, I used to get summer jobs, you know, in between seasons. And I got a job working at a steel mill. And I remember buying a hard hat and some steel toe boots. And I went out there in the summertime. It was like 97 degrees in Alabama. And I really didn't like having to put on all of that and just sweating every day, working in a furnace and working in a steel mill. I decided that this ain't for me. It's just me personally. My mom worked in banking. My father was a military man. So I realized that I want to be in the air conditioning. And if they're going to pay me, then I might as well sit in the air conditioning and just count money. I actually worked on my resume. My mom told me to go down to Wachovia Bank. I went down, it wasn't even Wachovia at the time. It was actually South Trust Bank in Anniston, Alabama. I walked in there with my resume in hand. They interviewed me right there on the spot and they offered me a job that day. I accepted that job as a teller. I was a summer teller and I was going from branch to branch in the summer, just moving around. I was a traveling teller. And I realized that at that point, not only do I like making it, I also like dealing with it. I like counting it. I like giving it away. When I mean giving it away, I actually like the ability to manage money and help other people reach their financial goals. And I realized that I didn't want to work in a hard hat and steel toe boots all my life. I wanted to use my mind. I wanted to be valued for what I could do for somebody, what I know, not entirely what I can manually do for an individual. So financial literacy gave me the ability to fulfill that desire to give value to someone, give value to people based on providing them the literacy and the knowledge that they needed to manage the money that they had. You know, when I was working with Wells Fargo Financial, when I first got out of college, you know, I was applying for different programs. You know, as an athlete, I was used to being a part of, you know, 3-year programs, 4-year programs that had a structure that you could, you know, abide by to help you become successful. So when I got into the workforce, I was looking for the same thing. And I applied for BB&T's developmental program. I applied for Wachovia's developmental program. And I ended up getting to the FDIC, or the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. I applied for that program 3 times. They turned me down twice because I didn't have enough accounting hours. I didn't have enough accounting experience and I didn't have the credits. That's what led me to going back and get my MBA. I did realize that just because I had a business management degree did not mean that I was fit to be a manager. It did not mean that I was qualified to go get the positions that I desired. Even though I was a successful athlete, it did not mean that I was going to be successful automatically in business without putting in the work. When I registered for the MBA program, I ended up getting the appropriate accounting hours, and then I got an interview the 3rd time I applied with the FDIC. They hired me. I ended up relocating, but I wanted to give more value to the agency. So what I decided, I wanted to be an accounting subject matter expert. But They didn't trust me with that because I didn't have a actual certification. When I went back to get my certification, I was two classes short. I was actually 4 hours short in accounting credits to be able to get my CPA certification, my Certified Public Accounting certification. So what I did, I registered for those 2 classes. By the time I finished those 2 classes, they ended up telling me that I had earned a second master's degree, a Master's of Science in Accountancy. And on top of that, I passed all 4 parts of my CPA examination and got the credentials to be a certified public accountant in the state of Georgia with reciprocity in Arizona. Wish I could tell you that I had it all figured out, that this was just a part of a well thought out, well mapped out plan. Truthfully, it wasn't. I got turned down for job after job, experience after experience. I really believe that it takes a different level of maturity to understand money. It takes a different level of intellect and a different level of maturity to really understand the value of money and how to manage it. And without that maturity, without that intellect, without the financial literacy that wasn't taught to me in school, it's no way that I would be able to manage any amount of money. It don't matter if I got 60,000, 120,000, 1.2 million. If you don't know how to manage it, you're gonna blow it anyway. There's levels to it. First, you got to learn how to manage your first opening salary. If you're making $50,000, you got to learn how to manage your $50,000 before you go ask for $100,000. Once you get to $100,000, you got to understand how to maximize that and employ those funds to benefit you before you go get $1 million. You know, you can't just ask for the world and not be able to manage the little bitty piece. Finances is so important. It's so vital. You know, when we talk about credit, when we talk about mortgages, when we talk about the real life responsibilities that come with being a man, being an adult, you know, money is important. It's not everything, but it definitely improves your quality of life if you manage it right. You don't have to have $1 million to live and be successful, but you do have to be able to manage what you got. And that ultimately is a game changer in and of itself.